I am the president of the UCC chapter of the American Association of University Professors. I'm here tonight to report that 10 days ago, at its annual conference in DC, after a lengthy investigation and report, AAUP members voted unanimously to sanction Union County College for violating standards of academic government. These sanctions are kind of a big deal. The AAUP is 102 years old, with roughly 47,000 members from over 500 campuses nationwide. Part of what it does is to support collective bargaining, but I'm not here to negotiate. The AAUP's original and primary concern is maintaining quality in higher education, which is why the AAUP documented good governance standards 50 years ago, working closely with the Association of Governing Boards of Universities and Colleges. The The overwhelming majority of higher ed institutions, community colleges included, work in harmony with AAUP governing principles. In fact, out of the 500 AAUP-affiliated schools, only 7 are currently under sanction, including now Union County College. Until our reorganization 1 year ago, UCC functioned under a system that was in alignment with these AAUP guidelines. Under this system, the faculty and administration worked together collegially to determine and meet the needs of our students. The faculty had a meaningful role in guiding the school through running its own faculty committees, departmental elections on changes and chairs, and hold faculty meetings with votes on key changes, all while being steered, overseen, and checked by the executive power of the administration and ultimately the boards. This system of academic governance valued faculty expertise in teaching methods, subject matter, and student needs. These sanctions confirm that the current administration, with the board's explicit support, has taken away the faculty's vote and voice, even threatened its right to exist, and taken more and more power for itself. I am not sure why such radical changes were deemed necessary. Our 2007 Middle States Review said we were, quote, a leader among our peers. I'm guessing that one reason given for such extreme changes was to increase our low graduation rates. However, to her credit, Dr. McMiniman managed to nearly triple graduation rates before dismantling the old AAUP-approved system of governance. Of course, democracy can be slow and inconvenient. Still, even though we as professors and administrators and board members might have very different perspectives, I think we would all agree with Winston Churchill that democracy is the worst form of government, except all the others. I would hope that we all understand that engaged professors are the essence of a college. I would think that no one here wants to oversee dysfunctional, democratic, public institutions transformation into a dysfunctional dictatorship. These sanctions, like the survey you heard about last month, point to a communication breakdown between faculty and leadership. The faculty have been distanced from the leadership process, and this is a problem. But these sanctions cannot force UCC to return to a government that values faculty input. President McMiniman and Mr. Rochelle, you clearly are strong leaders. You are not afraid of change, and you make things happen. I am speaking tonight out of concern for the college we all love, and because I believe you can solve this problem. As you move us forward, I ask you to consider moving backwards towards a more democratic model that preserves the faculty's role in shaping the college, gives the faculty the voice and respect they need to help create the next generation of citizens, and gets these sanctions removed as soon as possible. The solution would have to begin with a conversation that includes board members and faculty leaders who are chosen by the faculty themselves. Under this new system, you would initiate the change, but we would welcome the invitation, the conversation, and this type of leadership. Thank you for your time.
not spoken before.
State your name.
I'm Professor Liz Neblett. I teach ESL in the Humanities Division and have been teaching here since 1988. I grew up in Union County. I was born in Elizabeth, grew up in Plainfield, and went to the public schools. I've lived in Union County most of my life and still live, pay high taxes, and vote in this county. As some of you may know, my father was a member of the Plainfield Board of Education for 11 years and was a member of the Union County boards here until he aged out at 80 years of age. My family has been deeply involved in education for many years. At UCC, we have instituted 2 student scholarships, and my father established the Neblett Prize, which originally awarded prizes for teaching excellence and has since been expanded to include service to the college. Students have benefited from the Neblett Prize in the form of scholarships. As you can imagine, he was very happy when I was hired to teach at a college where he had devoted so much of his time. I can't imagine the discussions we would be having now about how the college has changed in the last 5 years. Here at UCC, I am in the unenviable position as the leader of the AAUP negotiating team. You can imagine that no one was jumping forward to take this on. If anyone says the faculty have been dragging its feet, it's far from the truth. By the way, I'm not here to negotiate. I'm here to give you another perspective. We've been working hard to reach a fair contract. Our contract expired in August 2015, and the teams have been meeting regularly since July 1st of last year. So by next week, we will have been meeting for a year. So far, the teams have met 19 times, about twice a month. And I should say that negotiations with the administration's team have been cordial and professional. Why is it taking so long? It seems that the faculty are the ones who have to give up something to get a reasonable salary increase, one that will even partially cover increasing healthcare costs and cost of living. Faculty workload increased in the last agreement, and once again, faculty are being asked to do more, despite the fact that most of us are already working more than 40 hours a week, even without overload assignments. The UCC faculty are hardworking and committed to our students and the college, as you saw by the faculty who were recognized here this evening. Yes, we want our students to be successful, and we want them to graduate. Many of us have instituted scholarships, which are especially important now that tuition is being raised. Nonetheless, the college is trying to further increase our workload with increased class sizes, which will not benefit the students. It is also seeking to increase advising powers despite lower enrollment, something which will be difficult to accomplish with increased class sizes. Of course, the chapter has been willing to consider some concessions, even some that may increase our workload. And all it asks in return is a fair contract that allows a wage increase comparable to those at other New Jersey colleges, and an implementation of personal days so that faculty can address things such as family and home emergencies. This does not seem like an unreasonable request. Thank you for your consideration.
Co-president of the Adjunct Faculty Union. Been here before, haven't been for a while because I was advised if I shut up for a while, things would get better. I shut up and I believe things have gotten a lot worse. We're here today to stand in support and solidarity with our brothers and sisters at AAUP. We're all faculty. College might not consider us to be equal faculty, but the full time, but we stand together in solidarity. This is not an issue of adjunct faculty, this is an issue of humanity. We teach our students achievement, community, compassion, recognition, fairness, kindness, loyalty, openness, and respect. Things that students need for their future life after graduation. These are things that we, the adjunct faculty, feel we are not given by the administration. In my opinion, the opinion of our executive board, we are considered to be not second or third, but 10th rate citizens. As far as shared governance, our role has completely disappeared. We used to be able to participate in several committees. We're down to 3 now. We don't even have a choice of what committees we want to serve on. We're told, you want to serve, this is what you serve. If you don't want it, then don't serve. We have problems in scheduling, problems in communication. We did a survey a couple of months ago in preparation for negotiations that are coming up. Some of my fellow members will read some of the responses that adjunct faculty made as far as the issues that they see with the reorganization and the lack of respect that we're getting. Our teaching loads have been further reduced. In cases that we can document, we've had adjunct faculty that have been pressured into passing or increasing grades of students. We have adjuncts, and you'll hear from one of them shortly, who was told after 15 years of teaching a course that all of a sudden she's not qualified, with 35 years of total education and teaching experience. We've had adjuncts that have been retaliated for speaking, and I'm sure I will be also. With everything that's been happening, we've had a very large turnover in the past 2 years of adjuncts. This does not suit our student, once again, at all. What we're looking for is an open line of communication. We're looking to be able to have a say in the operation of this college, a college that I've been at for 28 years, a college that I love. Teaching at a college that I used to look forward to coming to every day. Things have changed. Cooperation, all right, and open line of communication. We want to be part of this, all right? We want to be part of it. We want to be recognized for the work that we've done in helping the graduation rate. Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Kathleen Tasco. I've been an adjunct for 25 years in Elizabeth. I recently retired from Elizabeth Public Schools, where I had 45 years of teaching. Now, all of my students, I taught high school and middle school. I was very proud of Union County College. I would tell my students, come to this college. It's a wonderful college. The professors, the teachers are wonderful. Now, my feelings have changed. People are afraid to talk because they won't get classes. The First Amendment doesn't exist here. So everyone is afraid to state how they feel. A joyous place where people work together and share their ideas. Now you don't have. You all have the report about the sanctions. You all have the papers that you could read and know what's really going on. Okay, we do want the students to pass, but it's us, the teachers, that make the students pass, because we are devoted to the teachers, to the students, and we try to do a wonderful job under a lot of pressure. I hope that what I said today won't jeopardize my career at Union County College. But these are some of the comments that some of the adjuncts have responded to in our survey. Getting my class assignments too late, being bumped from a scheduled class when a full-timer needs an assignment, there's no respect or appreciation for what we do, not enough credits to teach, pay is low compared to other community colleges, lack of coordination between teachers and administration. There seems to be no logic how classes are assigned. Adjuncts with good student ratings and longevity should get preference. Lack of respect by administrators, deans, and assistant deans do not assign classes fairly or in a timely manner, almost never return emails. Lack of growth potential. We used to be able to teach 12 credits. The number is being reduced. Not enough pay for the workload. No seniority. Low pay and lack of compensation for training becomes less than minimum wage if you break down hours. Lack of security with courses. I understand that courses may need to be canceled due to low enrollment, but there should be some mechanisms in place to either inform faculty of potential cancellations earlier, or being hired for 2 summer courses with the understanding one might be canceled. With so much going on in the world today, down in Florida, in West Virginia, the fires, today in Turkey, we have to come together and be able to communicate. We can disagree, but we have to be able to talk. Thank you very much.
I would ask you, the speakers, please stay within the 3 minutes. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Peggy Tung. I am a former adjunct here. I'm also a Union County resident. I'm here to read to you 4 of the comments that were submitted by the adjuncts in the survey. These comments were submitted to a question: how has the college's reorganization affected you? So I'm just going to read them. The general attitude of the administration that we are like cogs that can be easily exchanged or replaced without reducing the effectiveness of the program on retaining and educating students. How in the world can a democratic county government permit the development of such an anti-labor college leadership? Next comment. Since department chairs have been eliminated, I feel that we have no one to go to aside from the union. The assistant dean is not available or empathic to my requests. The courses are not filled until almost the last week before school starts, which eliminates us the other opportunities. Decrease of teaching load and job security. Very unprofessional in the way they communicate with their adjuncts. Lack of guidance as an adjunct on how to navigate the UCC administration. I feel courses should be offered based on seniority. Adjuncts who have been teaching at UCC longer should be offered to choose the courses first before the newer adjuncts. Low teaching load, little basic respect or recognition, lack of administrative professionalism, autocratic governance. Assistant dean means someone who knows about scheduling for a specific former department to do the scheduling or to advise on it. The lack of appreciation and respect. That's all. Thanks.
Hi, good evening. My name is Rich Jorgensen. I'm a former student of graduate of Union County College with a 4.0 average. I am a resident of Rahway, New Jersey, and therefore I am a taxpayer of Union County. And I had some great adjunct teachers, so therefore I feel honored to read some of the comments that was, the first speaker made tonight. The first one is lack of communication between dean and adjuncts. I don't feel very supported by my supervisors, and I'm guided. It takes too long to find out what classes will be offered to you. We are doing it as a hobby. There's no way to make a living out of this. Not enough classes. With the change in administration, it's like starting a new job. The new administration don't know me and have not made any attempt to get to know me or what I do or what I teach. Quality of classrooms, they're either too hot or too cold. After 34 years of teaching, I lost my courses. My biggest complaint is that I have a master's degree from a competitive university, and I make poverty levels as a professor. UCC pays far below the national average, live in one of the most expensive areas in the country. Being new, basic introductions such as locations of a copier, classrooms, and technology does not exist. Can't teach as many credits as I did before. Invisibility. Can't choose courses anymore. The increase of duties and time without pay increase. Thank you.
I'd like to suggest, if I may, that half of what you read, sir, was already said. I would ask you, please, don't repeat.
Good evening. Before my 3 minutes starts, President Richel, you probably don't remember me, but I worked for you in the Elizabethtown Water Company in the mid-1960s when I was getting my master's degree at North State College. The reason
I think I was 12 then, wasn't it?
Pardon?
I was 12 then, wasn't it?
And yes, and I was also about the same age. But sir, I asked you, I have prepared something that might make 5 minutes, and I'm not speaking, this is for me personally. May I possibly?
Yeah, please try to stay as tight.
I absolutely will, sir. Thank you, President Richel. Thank you for letting me speak, ladies and gentlemen of the board, ladies and gentlemen in the audience. I've spoken to students for 45 years, and this is the first time I feel I might be in a hostile environment. So if my voice is a little shaky, please forgive me. I have been teaching for a total of 45 years in New Jersey. I retired honorably after 30 years of teaching in the public school system. I then came to Union County College and applied for a job to teach history, a subject for which I am qualified to teach. I have been teaching here successfully for 15 years, but something tragic happened. On Monday, November 30th, 2015, when I came to the Cranford campus, because I am usually on the Elizabeth campus, when I came to Cranford to fill in an emergency situation, I said, I think I'll go see the new assistant dean and ask him why I haven't been assigned any courses. And I walked in and I introduced myself to the dean, and he did not know me, I did not know him. But when he heard my name, he said, oh, you can't teach here anymore. You're not qualified. I did what any other wonderful woman would do. I broke down and started to cry. Now, after I composed myself, I said, my God, what can I do? He said, well, the Human Resources has lost your folder. There is nothing, no information that we have available. So I said, I can certainly bring in any materials I had turned in previously. I did. I was thankfully allowed to teach in the spring semester, which I did on my beloved Elizabeth campus. And again, I had another wonderful, fulfilling semester. Well, I didn't get any courses for this summer, and I went back to that self-same assistant dean and was told that upon scrutiny, I'm no longer qualified to teach here. Well, I said laughingly, because by now, if I don't laugh, I'll cry again, and I didn't want to do that again. So I said, my God, I must be really slick. I've conned everybody for the last 15 years here. No, I did not con anybody. When I came in 2001, I was interviewed for the job by Professor Faridi. Since he was an economist, he asked Dr. Harold Damerow to speak with me to see if I was able to teach history. Dr. Damerow, who's in the audience, said yes, I think she would be satisfactory. So those were the rubrics under which I was hired. I was hired by Professor Faridi after Dr. Damerow said yes, she has the qualifications. I've been observed by that self-same Dr. Damerow, who is no slouch. This man is a marvelous professor, an excellent scholar, and a marvelous author. So when he said, after observing me, you were satisfactory, did a great job, yes, you should be hired, I took it for granted, I was that good. But anyway, when I found out I wasn't going to be hired summer, I immediately got on the phone and I called Middle States in Philadelphia. I said, you know what? I better go to the source. When I spoke to Middle States in Philadelphia, Middle States assured me that to teach in any college or university, which they accredit, I need 1 master's degree. I have 2, but I only need 1. The second thing I need is experience in the subject I'm teaching. Because Middle States told me on the phone, this is a live conversation, that experience is the determinant consideration when hiring a teacher. I have those qualifications. Now, let me add this, and I'll be on my way. Again, thank you, President Richel. I have presented my student evaluations, which are glowing. I have presented emails from students. I have also been written up in a newsletter 3 different times in the section called Applause, and I thank Dr. McMenamin because she sent me a letter saying what a wonderful teacher I was. I received a commendation and a gold star. And then, to Elizabeth Neblet's parents, I had the great honor, and I mean the great honor, to be nominated for the Neblet Prize in the year 2013. That was 3 years ago. I did not receive the Neblet Prize, but till this day, Elizabeth, I have that program, because what was I? I was honored to be one of the nominees. And as one of the nominees, what was the reason? Because I had excellence in teaching. How did I have excellence in teaching if I am not qualified? I ask you. I actually did. Lastly, and we're almost done, last but not least are the economics of the situation. I've been on the Elizabeth campus, which has been a delight. Thank you, Dr. Gaba. Since the year 2003. In 2006, that was the first year that Elizabeth had a history class in summer school. So from 2006 to 2015, I have taught that summer school class filled with 32 students. I wasn't eligible to teach this year. I'm not qualified. But anyway, guess what happened to that class? It was canceled. Why was that class canceled? Because this unqualified woman who was taught for 45 years filled that class. Why? Because I am a name brand. I give those students a superb education. You lost money. Can any educational institution in the year 2016 afford to lose money? So to close, I would like to say, and by the way, this isn't a joke. You may think it is, but it's not. When God gave out good looks, I didn't get any good looks. When God gave out wealth, I did not get wealth. But when my God gave out a loving, compassionate heart to love the students of Union County College, since the year 2001, way before that sign was there, that students are number 1, I loved them then, and I love them now. And my heart is broken that I have not been allowed to teach, as I have done since 2001, for 15 years here. Who can tell me, Pat, you're not qualified? Please, please think it over. I am more than qualified. Thank you, President.
All right, everybody, let's take 3 minutes, please. Harold, you have something new to say?
I am speaking for Pat, since she wrote my name.
Pat did a pretty good job of speaking for herself.
She has Civ course, and it's the new division of deans who lack any history experience, who look at the criteria. Okay, it doesn't say history degree, it says humanities degree. We have people who don't know the difference between an American historian and a European historian. But these are people who now make judgments on what adjuncts can be hired, not be hired, and there is no appeals process because governance has been eliminated. Having an assembly without votes, having division meetings without votes, the reason we're on the AAUP list is because shared governance has been eliminated, and I appeal to this board, as my colleague did, begin to talk to the faculty how to go back to having real governance. What has happened is a stain on this college, which will grow over time. Some future board, some future president will be concerned about the sanctions that have been imposed on us. And I am so sorry that on my retirement, 3 days before I retired, this kind of a negative speech has to be given to these wonderful board members who really care. And I know how you look at the financial part, but you don't look at the academic and the academic governance part. There is more to a college than increasing graduation rates, although that, of course, is desirable. Thank you.
Anyone else who wishes to hear? Yep.
Good evening. My name is Sherry Kiffel, and I'm going to talk about my personal experience that I've had in the last few months here. I've been a teacher for 10 years, a decade, and normally I teach 3 to 4 classes per semester. However, this spring of 2016, I was only given 1 class. Okay. Now I've been informed via email, and I'm going to give you a date because it happens to be pertinent. I was notified on May 27th by email that there would be no courses for me for the fall semester. Now, tellingly, I think I should mention how I was addressed. I was addressed as Dear Humanities Adjunct Faculty in an email. However, interestingly enough, I was tolling around the internet one night, and I ended up at HERC, which is the Higher Education Recruitment Consortium. It's a listing for where higher education institutions put job listings. And I find that there are no less than 50 ads placed at HERC. So I think it's very interesting that the week before they told me there was no job for me, they had an ad for my very same position. I don't understand that, because I was not ever given a bad review. I've always had good reviews. My students are the chief source of any feedback that I get, and it's always been positive. So what am I supposed to include here? Dear adjunct faculty leads me to believe that they are not renewing the courses for people who've been around a while because we're more expensive. So I did a little bit of checking, and I found out that they're going to be saving $450 per course by hiring a new, untested teacher. You've talked about provision, Mr. Rickle, and here is a quote from a recent newspaper article. We have unanimously agreed with Dr. McMillan's vision and plan, and fully support the steps that she and her administration have taken to transform UCC into one of the nation's premier community colleges. Premier. I suggest to you that this vision might be better called a dystopia. And what I see here as a future is low-wage faculty teaching students who are mortgaging their future with loans to loan sharks.
Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard?
I'm Father Lukashevsky, and I think I have something to, at least something to some of the stuff that's been brought up here. Help me. Last week there was an extensive article in the local press about what the faculty thought of the administration, and also how the board praised the president of the college for improving the conditions for the college students. Coincidentally, I noticed a listing on a college website announcing the classes that have been canceled for summer session 1. I was amazed at the number of canceled courses. There were 155 of them. We're running approximately 300 courses during summer session 1. That's about 1/3 of the courses that were canceled. I guess that included the history course on the Elizabeth campus. Let me give you a little bit of a background. A year ago, the department chairs and the coordinators were tasked with developing the teaching schedules for the fall and the spring semester, just before they were giving their walking papers. Relatively well, those 2 semesters went, although there were problems with staffing some of the courses because of the inexperience of the new administration. But the summer schedule was made up by the new administrators. And can you believe 155 courses canceled? We don't cancel that many courses in spring and fall combined normally. That's 1 out of every 3 canceled courses. Students take summer courses either to make up something or to get ahead for the next semester. If there were course that needed 12 students to run, if there was an average of just 5 students in those canceled courses, that's 700 students that were inconvenienced and probably couldn't find an appropriate course because the schedule is very limited during the summer. There aren't that many choices. How does that benefit the students? Well, here's one other example that's invited me. For 75 years, we've been able to put together a schedule where if the class is scheduled on a Monday, it's held on a Monday throughout the semester. Well, in the last 3-4 years, we make students come in on a Thursday for a Friday class. A class that's normally scheduled on a Friday, they have to come in on a Thursday. Obviously, a lot of students have other obligations on the day. They're working, they're part-time students, and you can't really do a full class if some of the students are not there when they're supposed to be in class. Thank you very much.
Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard? we soon close the meeting to the public,